Hello, I'm Dr. Nimira, and I'm here to talk to you about redefining how you view your health today. I want to take a moment to acknowledge you for taking the time to view this video, as it says a lot about your commitment to your health. So thank you, and let's get started. Take a few moments and think about the things that bother you about your health. Are you tired all the time? Feel like your body just isn't working the way it used to? Or are you always in pain that's preventing you from participating in the things you love doing, like playing sports or picking up your kids or grandkids? What would it feel like if you could do these things without worrying about the possible consequences from participating? Do you have a chronic illness and are worried about adding on more and more medications? Or do you feel fine and just want to experience life better? The following presentation will open your eyes to new possibilities for your health and well-being. Think back to elementary school when you learned about the body and the different organs and systems. We learn about them as pieces of a whole instead of as a pyramid with the brain at the top. Gray's Anatomy tells us that the purpose of our brain and nervous system is to control and coordinate all of the functions of our organs, systems, and tissues in the body, and to help us adapt to our outside environment. This adaptation is key to our ability to push our bodies forward. In chiropractic, we have what we call the innate intelligence of the body, and it's what controls our body through the brain and the nervous system, and allows for all the things that happen without us having to think about them. Things like breathing, digestion, and heartbeat. Now, most of us realize that our brain is protected by our skull, but many do not realize that our brainstem actually sits beyond the level of the skull and sits in the hole in the atlas. This is where the red arrow is pointing. This atlas is really special because unlike the other bones in the spine, it has no bony connections between the skull above and the axis below. It can misalign out of place and get locked in that position because there's nothing there to bring it back. It's only held in place with ligaments. When the atlas is out of place, it can put pressure on the brainstem, and this can cause many health problems. Do you feel like something just isn't perfect with your body? You may not feel any illness, but you just don't feel amazing. Our brainstem is responsible for so much function in our body. First, it's our body's control center. It's the key point in the relay system between messages going from the brain to all parts in your body, and every single part of your body back to the brain. Next, it's responsible for the balancing systems in the body that are vital to our function. Things like heart rate, blood pressure, cycles of wake and sleep, even vision and hearing are regulated by the brainstem. Not only that, we've found that the pressure just the weight of a quarter can limit those messages up to 60%. Now the misalignment that we discussed of the atlas and this resulting pressure on the brainstem, that is what we call a subluxation in upper cervical care. This subluxation is just a fancy word for interference in the brain and nervous system's ability to function. Now this thing we call a subluxation is commonly referred to as the silent killer, but I don't want you to worry because it's something that can easily be remedied with proper treatment. There are three main things that cause this silent killer in everyone. We refer to them as the 3 T's: thoughts, traumas, and toxins, also known as emotional stress, physical stress, and chemical stress. See, stress really does kill. All these things in our environment have an ability to cause the physical subluxation and promote symptoms. Starting right at birth, the process can be traumatic for both mom and baby. Long labors, assisted delivery with forceps, vacuum extraction, or C-section can limit a newborn's ability to adapt to a new environment before they've even had their first breath. We experience slips and falls as we grow up and learn to walk and ride a bicycle or play sports. Chronic bad posture, sitting, eating, driving habits too can cause the subluxation. Almost all of us have experienced a car accident or two, which have the greatest chance of causing subluxation. Even something you think is the most minor of accidents has the potential to cause this subluxation. Stress has physical effects on the body, just like anxiety, depression, and anger. Our emotional state does have the ability to alter our physical body. And last of all, the toxins. Caffeine, nicotine, alcohol, poor diet, prescription and over-the-counter medications, all of these act as toxins in the body and can cause the subluxation. You're subluxated, so what does this mean? Are you one of those people who experiences headaches, neck pain, low back pain, really pain anywhere? Well, here's what happens. Remember that your atlas, that first bone in your neck, has become slightly misaligned, and this causes your head to shift off center. Your brain doesn't like to look at everything crooked, so our body innately tries to correct for it, and that's what we call the righting reflex. The righting reflex is how the brain shifts our body so that our eyes line up level with the horizon. Now our eyes may be looking level, but there is still a very minor misalignment. This causes the body to try to adapt all the way down, and our muscular system is the first to notice. You may start to feel your neck muscles tighten, and then your back, all the way down to your ankles and feet. This is the accommodation that happens all because of the tiny misalignment that has happened up top. All the tightening we start to experience as an annoyance, and then pain, will start to limit our ability to function properly. Getting upper cervical care not only clears up the pain, but also corrects the alignment all the way down to your toes. Do you have a family history of high blood pressure, diabetes, stroke, or cancer? Are you constantly worried that you're next? Now you can take control of your health future. Remember, I discussed how the brainstem is responsible for sending messages to our organ systems as well. If you've been diagnosed with a chronic illness, there has probably been some long-standing miscommunication that has been happening in your body. This long-standing miscommunication can show up as high blood pressure, diabetes, digestive issues, allergies, and even infertility. The other basic things as well are really just feeling tired all the time or sick all the time and feeling like you're just not being as productive as you could be. So how does this all relate to what I have to offer here in the office? The thing that I love most about upper cervical care is that it's both holistic and scientific. As the doctor, I'm able to treat the patient as a whole person, to see if the nervous system is able to function properly, so that the body can adapt, heal, and function at its best. Scientifically, everything I do is objective. I can check the nervous system with infrared scanning to see if there's an imbalance in function, and to see if there's a loss of adaptation. Also, I use X-ray to find the exact misalignment of the atlas. In chiropractic, we like to say to X-ray is to see is to know, and to know is not to guess. When it comes to your health, I refuse to guess. The more specific I am with the degree of misalignment, the better chance I have with offering a specific correction. Now, usually when people think about chiropractic and the neck, they automatically cringe and think about their neck being twisted around. Remember, I'm not your general chiropractor. Here's the simple picture of an upper cervical correction being done by me. This patient is lying down on the side in a neutral position. The neck is straight and it never leaves this position. I use a moving headpiece that allows me to focus on the speed of the correction rather than the force that's required to move the bone back where it needs to go. Many times, patients don't even feel the correction. Now, immediately after pressure is removed from the brainstem, communication is restored. The important thing to remember is that the process of healing does take time, and the time when you're holding your adjustment is when you're actually experiencing the healing process. If you need to keep being adjusted, your body is not experiencing the healing it needs for you to get better. As time goes by, and the longer and longer your body is able to hold a correction, you will start to experience true health. So where do you go from here? This new knowledge and approach may have just turned on a light bulb, or possibly confused you more. If anything you've learned during this time has hit home for you or for someone you know, I invite you to give me a call. I'm always happy to discuss any questions or concerns before helping you get scheduled for a discovery period of care. A discovery period of care is $300 and covers your first 2 visits, which include a thorough health history, complete chiropractic exam, all necessary x-rays, a customized report of findings, and possible recommendations for care. Remember, having a subluxation can be symptom-free, so it's important to know if you're subluxated so that you can then decide which steps you need to take next. It's just like the routine screenings we have for scoliosis, breast, prostate, or colon health, and it's so much easier. Getting checked is the most important thing you can do for yourself and for those you love. As a special gift to you for watching this entire video, if you would like to get checked and schedule your exam, I will offer the exam for only $200. That's a savings of $100 and could save you potential money in the future trying to take care of an illness that has manifested itself into symptoms, beyond just improper nervous system function. I hope you'll share my website with others so they too can download this free video on Redefining Health. Don't hesitate to give me a call with any questions or to set up an appointment. Remember, I'm here to help you experience healing simplified.